Hello everyone and welcome to The Day. Today we're going to be talking about should you buy this lens. This is the Sony 35mm f1.8. Weighs about 280 grams, costs around 1,000 Australian, and has one programmable button and an autofocus manual switch. It's small, but it packs a punch. This was actually the first lens that was recommended to me and that I actually got when I bought my Sony a7C. And for a long time, I hated this focal length. I absolutely could not get a good photo out of it. And I blamed this lens every single time. It got so bad that I got to a point that I actually put it up for sale. And the only reason I didn't sell it was because I knew that even with selling it, I wouldn't be able to afford the lens that I really wanted, which was a 50mm or a 24-70 zoom. Now that I've owned this lens for about 2 years, I have realized that I am still learning how to compose shots. It's a really great focal length to really challenge you and push you to introduce a lot of different elements into your shots, depending on what style of photography you are doing. The biggest thing I learned was it's not the lens's fault, it was me. I needed to learn camera settings, I needed to learn composition, I needed to learn a lot more than just having a good lens. And this is a good lens. 35mm is actually a really versatile prime lens to own. It's really good for portrait photography. You can get up nice and close to your subject, and with the 1.8 aperture, you're able to get a lot of good subject separation, which gets that nice bokeh blur that everyone really enjoys to make your subject pop. It's also wide enough that you can start to introduce some environmental elements into your photography, which is where it comes in handy for things such as street photography, taking a photo not only of a person, but the place that they're in to tell more of a story. It's also a really great travel lens because specifically this lens is a lot smaller and more compact than its older sibling, the 35mm 1.4 G Master, and not to mention, it's a lot cheaper too. Now, I pair this lens with my Sony a7C, and together they weigh like 800 grams, and so it's not taxing on my body. It's something that I can carry around all day, whether it be on shoot, on set, or just going around traveling in my local city, or going on an actual holiday somewhere. It's something that I could bring along with me that isn't going to be too bulky to carry along. The actual image quality that comes out of this lens is really impressive. Now, as always, depending on the lens and the body that you pair together, that is going to play a major factor in the actual quality of your images. And on top of that, like I said at the beginning, it comes down to your skill as well, how you set your aperture, your ISO, and your shutter speed to get the desired effect. But having a quality lens like this is a really great start to figuring it out. You just got to put in the time, put in the effort, and this you can't go wrong with. Overall, I think that the images that come out of this are tack sharp. Once you've dialed in your settings and you're pretty happy with them, it's just playing from there and the lens does the rest. Now, I did take this out during some night photography the other week where me and my partner went to Sydney for its Vivid Festival. So there's a few images I'm going to throw up here. Night photography is always really tricky, especially when you're trying to balance your shutter speed to let in enough light, and obviously you are limited to the 1.0 aperture followed by your ISO not making it too noisy. But this is how the shots came out. I'm pretty happy with them. So my advice is that if you want to stick with the Sony system and you're not looking at those third-party lenses such as Samyang and Sigma, then this Sony 35mm is a very, very good choice for the price point it's at. I don't think you're going to miss that 1.4 too much, depending on the job that you're running. If you're looking for compact, you're looking for light, and you're looking for well priced, this is the lens. On that note, leave a comment on what 35mm or what system you are running, and if you were to swap this out for one of the third-party lenses, which one would you go for and why? Anyway, to wrap it up, don't forget to subscribe, and here's a few more shots so you can pause and take a look at the edits and make your own decision. See you in the next video.